What's going on, guys? Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan here on the last day of January. Can you believe the first month of this new year is already in the books of 2021 on January 31st? Here to discuss Miami Heat, a video which I've been sort of putting off for a few days because I'm sitting around going, well, what's going to happen here? Are the Heat going to win a game? Am I going to have to wait till like March 1st or something to do a Heat video? Well, they snapped their 5-game losing streak. Heat are back in the win column. If you do like the content of this particular video, go ahead. You have my full permission to go ahead and hit that like button. You can also subscribe to the channel, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan as well. Did a video yesterday also for those of you interested in the Super Bowl NFL discussion. I did that on the 30th Saturday, talking about the upcoming Super Bowl on February 7th. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. Miami Heat now improve their record to a very unimpressive, although the season is still young, very unimpressive 7 wins, 12 losses with a 105-104 victory over the equally unimpressive Sacramento Kings, who fall to 8-11 on the young season. Now, definitely not going to stay down or negative on the Heat. There's plenty of basketball to be played. With only 19 games into the season, we've just basically surpassed the 25% mark of the regular season. Friendly reminder, it's a 72-game regular season this year, as opposed to what we're used to, right? The 82 games. There's a lot of little things that I could point at, and I'm about to go over. I'm going to discuss the game in some detail, but I have some thoughts on who should probably be playing a little more, a few things we could be doing here that I haven't really had much of in the past, especially since the later part of last season, where it just seemed like every move. I mean, Coach Eric Spoelstra is very good. We're glad to have him for the Miami Heat, but I mean, there's a few things that can be touched on, a few points to make. Also, let's be honest, I mean, when you're without 4 guys that are in your rotation, Avery Bradley, Goran Dragic, Myers Leonard, and Mo Harkless, all inactive. So these aren't exactly easy times either for the Miami Heat, guys. And I look at some of the teams that are ahead of the Heat in the standings, which, I mean, come on. The Heat are better than some of these teams. Teams that are actually technically below the 8th seed if the season were to end today. I mean, there's a lot of crunching together of records in the Eastern Conference right now. A lot of teams very much the same. You got the Raptors, who are 7-12. That's a good team from last year. Bulls are at 7-11. Orlando's 8-12. The Knicks are 9-11. Charlotte's 9-11. Cavaliers are 9-10. I'm sorry, guys. The Cavaliers are not better than the Miami Heat. No disrespect to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Atlanta Hawks are 10-9. Celtics are 10-8. I mean, Heat are only a couple of games behind even the Celtics at 10-8. Pacers 11-8. Bucks 11-8. Nets 13-8. Sixers are at 14-6. This is going into Sunday's games, the 31st. Easily, the Heat can get back in the mix, especially with the schedule coming up this week. This is not a difficult time in their schedule, a part of their schedule coming up. Let me just run through the next 3 games real quick for you. Starting Monday, the 1st of February, home against Charlotte Hornets, one of the teams currently ahead of the Heat at 9-11. Wednesday, home against the Wizards. Friday, home against the Wizards. Now, guys, please don't tell me the Heat can't win 2 out of 3 games coming up this week that are all home against, respectively, the Hornets and the Wizards twice. If we can't win 2 out of those 3 games, the Heat are in big trouble. But I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm expecting at least 2 of these next 3 to be in the win column for the Heat. Let's go over some details of Saturday night's nice 1-point victory. Yes, they beat the Kings by a point, 105-104, against a team with a losing record, a team that takes a lot of three-pointers in the Kings. They're almost out of control from three. I mean, they do have some good three-point shooters, don't get me wrong. But it took a home victory, a home court advantage, with the Miami Heat uniforms, by the way. I mean, the Miami Vice uniforms, I meant to say. With the Miami Vice uniforms. We know they're already the Miami Heat uniforms. With the Miami Vice uniforms, by the way. And they pull it out 105-104. For the Kings, Harrison Barnes finished 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He would basically he would have 2 3-pointers as well. Marvin Bagley would have 17 points, 4 rebounds and assists, 3 of 4 from three-point land. He had 2 steals also. Rashawn Holmes, the big guy there in the middle, 4 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, a block, and a steal. Buddy Hield had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. He would have 6 3-pointers. He goes 6 for 13 from 3. De'Aaron Fox put up 11 3-pointers, only hit 3 though, but he had a nice game, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. The bench didn't really do that much for the Kings. Tyrese Halliburton had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He played well, and a steal. He had 2 3-pointers. Hassan Whiteside, there's a familiar name, 9 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, and 2 blocks. Kyle Guy, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, no blocks. 1 of 5 from 3. Corey Joseph would not score, have 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. The bench for the Kings, check this out, would go 3 for 9, 4 for 14. They'd go 4 out of 15 from 3. That's not going to get it done, guys. The starters for the Kings would go 9 out of 24, 9 out of 24, and 8, 32. So 9 and 5, they did well. Yeah, they shot the ball well from 3. Roughly 14 out of 32, something like that. Would the starters go from 3? That's pretty good. But boy, do they put up a lot of threes. You know, a little message maybe to the Sacramento Kings coaching staff. Why don't you why isn't Hassan Whiteside playing a little more? Wouldn't that make a little more sense? I mean, I understand going with small lineups, and the Heat certainly do a lot of that, is kind of the in thing in the NBA these days, but why don't you get him maybe a little more time? And, you know, I've seen him at 17 minutes some games. He could certainly produce. I mean, he was one of the top rebounders in the whole league last year, let alone the block shots. You got to get a little more out of him, and you're not going to get more out of him by him playing less than 20 minutes. Come on. Jimmy Butler would return for the Heat. 30 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. KZ Okpala would not play much. He would get the start, would leave early, only played about 7 minutes. Bam Adebayo, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Great game for Bam. 2 steals and a block. Tyler Hero, typical type productivity for him, very solid. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 2 blocks and 2 threes. Duncan Robinson, 14 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, and a block. 4 out of 8 from 3. So Duncan and Hero would combine 6 out of 13 from 3. Very good. Andre Iguodala only scored 1 point, but he had 6 rebounds and 6 assists and a steal. Very good. Kelly Olynyk, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He had 3 3-pointers. We'll go 3 out of 8 from 3. Max Struss. So we had some players getting time for the Heat with 4 players in the rotation out, just inactive. Struss would finish with 7 points, 1 of 2 from 3. Precious Achiuwa, 6 points, 2 rebounds. Gabe Vincent would have 3 points for the Miami Heat. I do have a complaint. That complaint is this. Why is Precious Achiuwa, 19 games into the season, barely playing 13, 14 minutes? He only played, he logged 13 minutes in a 1-point win with guys without with a decimated roster, even without a decimated roster, even with the full strength going into this game, why is he only playing 13 minutes? And then a whole bunch of other games he's playing less than 20. So my thought on that is, there might be something going on that we're just not aware of as fans. I don't know. He seems to play good defense, guys. I mean, I know he's a rookie, but part of this, and I'm positive the Heat coaching staff, which usually is great in bringing along rookies and young talent. I mean, I understand there's a little perhaps hesitancy not to bring them along too quick, but part of this is you're kind of failing forward as well. Can we get him 20 minutes? I mean, is that asking too much? He should be in the low 20s, low to mid 20s, 22, 24 minutes a game. They seem to be going with Andre Iguodala in that role, giving him more minutes. Now, I'm not against that. I'm not against Iguodala getting more minutes, but come on, we got to get Precious Achiuwa some more playing time here. And that's about as much as I'm going to say on that, guys. What is going on there? So, the Heat getting a nice soft spot in the schedule, probably at the perfect time. As a banged up Heat team, gets 3 home games this week, the 1st, 3rd, and the 5th. Charlotte, Washington. Got to win 2 out of 3. Is that a must? Yeah, you got to get at least 2 out. You got to get 2 out of those 3. Come on. There's no reason why that shouldn't happen. Of course, in a perfect world, we're going to win all 3 of those games. But come on, guys. We got to be a little, let's take one at a time. Got to be a little realistic here. This is a Heat team that just lost 5 in a row, is definitely not 100%, and just squeaked out a 1-point win against a team that throws up threes like crazy and hits a lot of threes like crazy in Sacramento Kings, who are 8-11 with the Miami Vice uniforms. So that's my recap. We beat the Kings at home with the Miami Vice uniforms. So go ahead, leave a comment, hit the like button. Let me know what you think, guys. He can get right back into this. Plenty of basketball left. He got tons of games left. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye for now.